Cyndi here. I'm excited to talk to you guys about this area. What inspires a man to pursue you, chase you? And, in that, and this is a continuous thing that I'm going to speak into, and what will capture his heart. So sometimes it's easier for me to tell you what not to do in order to shift what to do. But first off, as let's assume that you're dating someone that's expressed interest in you, or you're dating someone's that is expressing interest, you're spending time together, you really like him. So the number one thing you want to make sure of, and let me back up before I say that, is men want to spend more time with a woman where it feels good. That, they start to fall for a woman the way that she's showing up in the beginning, which is usually unattached, confident, fun, in her beingness. So, and then when a woman starts to get more attached, that's when things change. You can almost feel it, right? Who's been there where you've been dating someone and then you felt the shift. You felt a shift in how he was showing up, and maybe you felt a shift in how you showed up. Just write in the comments, yes, I've done that, I felt that. So sometimes that's a really good thing, because it means that there's a deeper connection that's forming. And sometimes it's a feeling from a woman of feeling a little bit out of control. So the number one thing you want to do is never pressure a man to commit to you. And so that being said, you get to keep your options open, and you proceed in your life as if you're single until he asks for a commitment. And that also means, especially if you particularly like this guy, you're not going to give him the benefits of a girlfriend. You're not going to give him girlfriend benefits. So, that usually means intimacy. That means, showing up in a way that girlfriends do, buying him gifts, doing a lot, doing more for him, right? You want to keep the tension. You want to keep tension in the relationship in general. But, he is going to continue to pursue when he doesn't feel pressure. And if he feels pressure, or you say, I really need a commitment, or, whatever you say, what it feels like to them is force. You're trying to force it, and nobody ever wants to feel forced, right? It's kind of like you're, trying to force a square peg in a round hole, or force something before it's time. So getting into your head that, yep, this is where it's at. I'm enjoying where it's going. And, watch the way that he shows up for you, because that's an indicator of his feelings. And, a lot of times as women, if we're uncertain, we don't feel safe, then that's where the fear sets in. And that's where this is where what not to do happens. So, when you feel uncertain, you don't know where it's going, you get to stay present, and you get to stay single. And, you also get to look at, how long am I willing to stay in this situation, stay dating this man the way things are, And so how long am I willing to do that? And so a man gets to feel like he's going to lose you if he doesn't actually step up and commit and take you off the market, right? So that's an important piece that, you know, he needs to know. Ultimately, yes, you're looking for a loving, committed partnership, right? So here's what happens when a woman starts to get closer to a man. She decides that she likes him. These are some of the things that can happen and that I want you to be aware of so you don't do it. So you can get really excited about a man, right? You get excited about where it could go. You guys seem to have a lot in common. You know, there's all these good things. But when you get excited, the next thing happens. Fear starts to set in of, is this really, you know, I could possibly lose him, right? So what happens when there's fear? You're going to try to hold on really tight to the man, right? And it puts pressure on yourself and on him when you're in this place of fear. And he feels it, even if you don't say anything. So it's, you know, keep yourself grounded, like, hey, I'm really enjoying this. I'm still getting to know him, because that's the mindset work. I'm looking forward to seeing what unfolds. And, you know, a little bit of fear can show up, right? But not the fear that happens when you get too excited, when your emotions get too high. So what happens when the fear sets in, right? Because the fear comes across as desperation, neediness, and it's an energy. You might not think you're doing it, but you do. And what he feels is that, oh my gosh, I don't want to let her down if I'm not ready to commit to her, or if 3 months from now I change my mind. Men don't like to let women down. So if you start showing up in this way that you've changed from the woman that he first started dating, which was fun, confident, happy, then he's going to start to naturally back away and into the arms of a woman that is happy, confident, and okay either way. She's okay whether or not the relationship works out or not. That's what builds natural and lasting attraction. You know, something that I was told a long time ago, and I share this with my clients all the time, it's, you know, it's a little bit of connection visualization, right? And what that looks like is become okay with the worst case scenario and the best case scenario. So, you know, envision that it doesn't work out. Close your eyes, envision that it's not going to work out. Imagine yourself okay, being okay with that. Imagine the best case scenario and become okay with that. And then that will support you in actually being grounded in the space of being present, open, and, you know, seeing with eyes wide open and making sure that, hey, is this the kind of person that I desire? And are we on the same page here? Because if it continues staying in the same spot and it's not moving forward, then you get to move on into, you know, dating somebody that does want what you want, or it will progress naturally. It may not progress in the timeline that you think it will, but it will progress. So that's why it's important to keep your options open and give him space. Men actually fall in love with distance. You know, you're not available all the time. You're not, you know, you're not texting all the time. You're not, you know, you're not constantly in contact because, you know, one, he will in his mind go, oh, I've got her, I can relax. And he will naturally not show up as much because naturally as human beings, we do take people for granted. So you want to continue what I call tension. And the other side to the coin is with distance, you're both refreshed and recharged, and you both come together with more excitement and happiness because you've missed each other, right? And you've got more to talk about rather than if you're talking all day long, all the time, there's, you know, it doesn't hold the same value. And like you've got a life, you've got things going on. So does he. And he'll value that in you so that you're not pretzeling yourself or bending over backwards to be, you know, to be available all the time. So that is really, really key. The other is don't lead. So that means, and that's a whole nother life, but you know, it's really getting into your space of happy femininity, like what makes you show up as loving, nurturing, connective. You know, maybe you love your cat or your dog or your kids or whatever. Get into that space of openness and connection, because that's actually a connection to your feminine side and that feminine receptivity, which will naturally make him, which is also a supportive side. So it'll naturally makes him want to become closer to you because it's inviting, right? So, you know, keeping in mind, remembering these things, letting that, don't get too excited. Don't let that fear take over so that it changes your personality and changes the way you're showing up, inadvertently putting pressure. Remember, be you, have fun, be in the present moment, and don't force an agenda, right? When a man feels that force of an agenda, it will repel him. So, and I know you don't want that. So as you're dating, if you have questions, comments, please post below. And, you know, let me know if you have anything that's come up for you, if you have a question that that is really pertaining to you and you want to direct message me, you certainly can, because I want to see you be in the place where you're fully in your power. You're able to ask for your wants, needs, and desires without compromising, and with showing up with the natural flow of connecting into the right relationship. And know that if he doesn't show up, then it wasn't the right one anyway, and he wasn't going to show up. So you can't force that. I hope this helps. I'm sending you lots of love. If you know anyone that needs to hear this message, please, please, please share it. If you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. You can definitely have access to all the videos that are posted, and IGTV, hello. Sending you guys so much love. Have an amazing day, and we'll see you soon. Bye.